SwissBorg is the official partner of my channel where you can buy, sell, hold, and more importantly stake your cryptocurrencies. You can even earn yield on your stablecoins. Sign up with my link and you'll earn up to $100 worth of their native token CHSB just for depositing €50 worth of crypto. SwissBorg. Hello everybody, welcome to Wrecked City. It's freezing over here at Wrecked City. Zero is not what it feels like. It's snowing like a beast over here. Right, so talking about Wrecked City, so we've got, actually that's a decent one that there, so not to look at Atom particularly. Atom's actually pretty sweet in all fairness. But yeah, we're looking over here at Bitcoin on the daily, close to the 200 simple moving average at this point, sliced straight through the box, so stopped out almost instantly from that position here. Again, you know, when you're trying these positions, trying these setups, similar to that of the Euro and Gold, which still are actually in profit ever so slightly, you know, it doesn't take long to know if you're wrong, if you're ever going to do futures and derivatives. Yeah, so these are still up, and I'm literally, by the smallest degree, these are working out. But yeah, it didn't help the S&P. However, the S&P has come down to an area where we can try one of those again now. So opportunities within these markets, these volatile moves, looking good. Especially for crypto, where things are extremely, well, we'll call them oversold for want of a better word. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's when it comes to, I suppose, noob master sell-offs, we're getting one at the moment. If you think about all the FUD that's filtered into this week, so you got, was it Mount Gox, you got Silvergate, you've even got the Silk Road money, you know, what is it, about $1 billion worth of government-owned or seized Bitcoins moving around to Coinbase. Yeah, I mean, it's FUD central. And this doesn't mean that we can't come down low. Of course we can. Captain Noobmaster sells the bottoms and he buys the tops. That's what he does best. But at the moment, yeah, this chart doesn't look like it wants to reverse around here at any point soon. And it's same deal as yesterday. We'll keep our eye on one particular area, which is more or less where we came down to at the moment. 200 simple moving average on the daily, sitting around 19,750. And where did we reach? You could argue that that's been front run by Captain ProMaster, who obviously likes to, you know, front run Captain Noobmaster, which is why Captain Noobmaster won't ever get these supports. But again, you know, it doesn't take long to know if you're wrong. Taking a position around here, see where we go from there. Until we see a reaction from there, it does look like carnage. And obviously being below this 200 exponential is going to incur death cross, and you know, we might end up scraping down these bottom areas once again. I'm still very much in the belief that the low is in for traditional markets, and we can only assume that Bitcoin is going to have the low formed as well around these levels. Assumptions, you know the phrase. Was it? Don't assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. Assuming is it can be dangerous, but again, you know, one thing what we can also assume is that the 4-year cycle is likely to continue on as it always has, which is why I made that video a couple of weeks ago about thinking about the long term. You know, your long term goal: buy, hold, stake. SwissBorg's at the ready. You know, if that's your if that is your projection, which for a lot of people it probably is the best way to handle all of this, then all of these areas, especially when it comes to looking at certain altcoins, for instance, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. I believe that even from earlier on in the week at these higher levels, altcoins would be looking, and I say altcoins in general, but some of the altcoins that we frequently would look at, you know, should yield a 10x over a 3-year period. Obviously, we're down a lot lower now, and so, you know, be looking for a 10, 12, 15x potentially from these levels. But that's not going to be without some mad volatility. And again, just like what we said about the last bull market being more or less sideways, so a big catapult up, but for a period of roughly 2 years, the average entry point being about 6,000, between 6 and 10. For those people, it didn't feel like a bull market, and bull markets generally don't feel like that. Bull markets offer opportunity for upside, spot trading, yeah, but they are traders. It was a trader's realm, not an investor's realm. The investors came through at the end and said, guess what? I bought Bitcoin at 6,000. You bought Bitcoin 6,000 over here, you would have been hated for it. You bought Bitcoin at 6,000 over here, you would basically be, you know, breaking even every other month. Sometimes in profit, sometimes below profit. So again, you know, what is your overall long-term goal? Buy, hold, stake, you should be thinking about, I would say,
dollar cost averaging into each one of these dumps. Interesting how a lot of the altcoins, not a lot, but many of the altcoins have actually, you know, stood up quite well in this dump so far, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. So let's think about the same as we did yesterday. What's the trading environment? So far, the trading environment does offer upside on the S&P. A bounce. We did come down to the tune of about 2% yesterday. It's a big dump. So we're looking for a bounce around this area. We've got historical areas of significance, whether it be in supports, push, resistances, push, supports and supports. Resistances and resistances and supports and supports and resistances and what's the chances of it being support? Well, it looks like this exact level is an okay area to give it a go, even if it were to just be a measly bounce for the day. Looks like an okay area, and again, you know, it doesn't take long to know if you're wrong. Opportunities exist at supports. Right, so that would be that. Euro again, back to the euro. Okay, fair enough. It's a measly move yesterday, and it looks to be rejected so far on the 10 exponential. No big deal. And gold, neither here nor there really. Rejection on the center of this Bollinger Band. So what we're gonna do? Yeah. We're just going to try it again, aren't we? This is the beauty of trading. You know, we see the opportunities, whether they fail or succeed. We're blessed with another opportunity a little bit further down the line. And luckily for us, you know, the opportunity failed yesterday, but has now presented itself a nice new one at 10 past or 20 past 8 in the morning. So I can look at this and go, all right, it's worth a shot. Of course it's worth a shot. This is how I make my bread and butter. This is what we do. We assess the morning situation, whether it's favorable or not. We decided to take a position. Yesterday, it was worth taking a position. Stopped out, no big deal. This morning, actually presented with another one straight away. So again, I favour a bounce from here. Is this a bounce that's going to create the V-shaped recovery? At this point, not likely. But is it going to be a bounce that can give us a little bit of cash? Probably, I would say. Probably. Again, it won't take long to know if you're wrong. Call it 19,700 really. Breakdowns from there. Probably come back down to this zone. Back into the 18,004. 18,500 area, to be honest. It probably would, but for the moment, bounce seems more likely than not, especially with the way that the S&P looks and the continued, although anemic, move up from this 200 exponential from euro and gold. So yeah, looks like upside is probably the most likely for today, and maybe today only. Given the fact that we've dumped quite significantly, any bounce is likely to get sold off towards the end of today, so that would be American markets close. And so whatever profit you do find yourself in derivatives, make sure that you put your stop losses in profit so you break even or at least take some profit, because the chances of sell-off for traditional markets, regardless of any kind of bounce that we get today, is reasonably likely. I would target for the S&P back up to 4,000, to be honest with you, maybe even on just today's bounce. But other than that, yeah, we have to accept the sell-off. Wasn't exactly as expected, and I apologise for that. But look, risk to reward seemed okay, just as it seems okay today. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. This isn't a crystal ball. You know, there is no guarantees in trading. You get it right often enough to make money, it becomes your job. You get it wrong more than often, back to McDonald's, I'm afraid. Right, I will leave it with you there. Like I say, it's snowing over here in northern England. Let me know what it's like where you are. Just to pump my algorithm, to be honest with you. Other than that, have a nice day. Maybe I'll see you on the Patreon live stream tonight. Other than that, yeah, take it easy.